Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this October 18th, 1974. That was the day I arrived here at Elan 1, Poland Springs, Maine, which I thought was a boarding school, just a boarding school for education. And my parents thought it was just a boarding school for education and stuff like that. That I would learn to ride horses, ski mobile, stuff like that regular kids do in high school and coming up, and instead of the inner city neighborhood that I grew up in. So my mother thought it was a good thing, and even though I was a juvenile offender at the time, she thought it was a good idea to spare me from juvenile prison to come here and possibly change my life, which was it didn't change my life for the positive. It was just a horrible, horrible stay here at this cult-like. All right, yeah. So, yeah, the first day with my father, just looking at this place now, it's like, wow, it's just a nightmare. As I'm walking through it, this is how we came in, and this is how we walked in. And we were told that was actually Joe Ritchie's office, whom you're going to learn a lot about over the course of time. And the main house is right here. And that's what we seen as we walked in. We parked over here somewhere, and we had to walk to the house. It was four of us. It was the two social workers from DCYF and my father and me. And we walked over there. And when we get to the house, I'll explain to you what my first experience of therapy in Elan, what I seen as being taken on the tour of this place. Yeah, Joe Ritchie's office, that's where he sat on his throne over there. And right here it says the new administration building, so he must have built, that was after I left in '76. But that was his office, him and the psychiatrist, Davison, probably, I think was his name, Davison. And now I can see how that cabin was different. That was for sleeping quarters at one time, but you can see that's connected to the administration building. And them were the other cabins that were down by there. That is actually the way to the lake down that way, but we're not gonna go there right now. We're gonna go over here in the house. And wow, it's surreal right now. I don't know, it's like I said, I always knew I was gonna come back and do this because of the nightmare. I lived here for 2 years. And my brother Dickie also. And he didn't fare too well. I fared a little bit better, even though I spent many years in prison. And I blame part of that because of this. I don't blame it. I own my own actions. I'm not looking for sympathy. I don't want nothing out of this. Oh boy. Here we go. And then this is that place right here. This is it. And my first to behavioral modification therapy, they called it, I guess, back then. It was somebody was being reprimanded, and there was a dish pan right over here, but it's no longer there. But right here was a dish pan. So as we came in, somebody was being verbally reprimanded with harsh tones and words and attitude and humiliation, actually. So, I mean, it was like taken back. My father was taken back, and I guess we got a tour of the house and came through here, and this was a throughway. Yeah, that was communications department. That was called the communications department right over here. Yeah. And you'll catch some stuff over here. Yeah, this was the service crew in here. And it says service crew, Pride Family Staff, Jeff Gottlieb. He was the director. I talked about him. The coordinator was Josh at that time. I don't know these guys, but there it says Joe Ritchie, dead zoo, whatever that means. He's dead now, I know that. But this was it. This was, oh, yeah. Yeah, this is the communications department. We'll find the structure in here somewhere. It's on a chalkboard, the house structure. And it can really give you a sense of how this became a cult-like place and nightmare. And like I said, only because of my mother, we got out of here early, and my 3 successful escapes out of here, that she started believing me and got us out of here. Where me and my brother Dickie spent 18 months to 2 years here. I spent 2 years, Dickie spent 18 months. Other kids from Rhode Island spent 4 and 5 years at a shot here. And that was only for, back then, was $12,000 a month. No, a year, I'm sorry, a year. This is, right here, the dining room. This is where the general meetings, the humiliation, the degradation, the just downright sadistic stuff happened right in there. Very, very sadistic stuff. This was it. Right here. Yeah. And, I mean, 100 residents used to sit right in here and then humiliate and degrade the guy in the general meeting up against the wall. It was a horrible place. It was a nightmare. For a 14-year-old kid, I was petrified. And I went along with anything they did after my first general meeting and learning experience. Yeah. This was the kitchen. And I talk about this because I'm seeing it in my mind right now, the horror that we lived. That piano is the same piano that was there 50 years ago. That piano. Look at this. First thing I learned when I was here. I wasn't a musician, but, you know. Wow. I can't believe this is, I mean, it's still here. The horrors that we used to have to witness in here for 4 or 5 hours at a time, sometimes till 5 o'clock in the morning. And it was just a horror show. Very bad ghost going through here right now. It's not a nice feeling. I think we could find the house structure down here somewhere. Yeah, this was always like this in and out. Yeah, then the communication department. There was another department. This was the expediter's office. That's what this was. They were the police force of the house, so, and they were residents. And that's how this, like the cult thing, and they pitted resident against resident. Now my club is over here, it should be. I gotta say that it looks like the same furniture that was there when I was here, but it was in over here. We are here, we survived. Well, I survived, I know that.
Yeah, I think that looks like some new girl who just didn't even, you know, that doesn't look like someone who was actually here when you were here, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, all right, yeah, that's how you took it, yeah.
Wait, let me get a focus on you.
Okay, yeah, all right, yeah.
Hold on,
yeah, there's the fireplace, yeah. Yeah, I missed that. That's the fireplace. This is the house structure right here. Yeah, see this was the police force of the house. Expediters, full coordinator, coordinator trainee, the chief coordinator, the shingle coordinator who took the incidents. People would go report you for an incident, and they would put it in the book. And at the end of the day, there would be reprimands, an expediter training. And then, see, shot down, these people were more in charge of, they were in charge of keeping track of everybody, but they were in charge of the shot downs. And the shot downs were people that did the dishes and scrubbed the pots and pans and scrubbed floors with toothbrushes. And then they would just reprimand them anytime they want, 5, 6 times an hour, humiliate them. But these were residents. I was here. The structure is the same exact structure, though. And I climbed that structure, the only ones that could do it to me. And yeah. Just a lot of horror. A lot of horror here. Yep. I forgot what this was. Yeah, but there could be alumni because if if I knew I would do this at some point in my life, there have to be other people that feel the same way as me.
Yeah, exactly.
That were here. There were thousands and thousands here in the course of the 40-something years it was open. Yeah. If you had feelings for a meeting, hostile feelings, you wanted to yell at them and stuff, you would do that in was called an encounter group. It was a hostility group. You could say anything you want. You just had to stay seated and in your hands. And this is where you would drop the slips, and the phone was in this room too. You would make your calls, but they weren't to every word. I keep putting my hand on the mic, but anyway, yeah. So I don't know. My mother bought it for a little over a year. I would say 14, 16 months, and she started believing, and it wasn't for her. I would have spent the 4 or 5 years here, like the other kids from Rhode Island did. A lot of them. The Northrop brothers, Cheryl Smith. Yeah, they spent a lot. And I used to go like this. So I used to do a little something like that. And I'm not musicianly inclined, like I don't play instruments, but take your mind off of what was going on here. TVs? No, they had one TV. They never had something like that here. They had a small TV in the living room over there. This was a stage right here. And I remember one time there was a bunch of guys that clicked up, and there were a lot of the Rhode Island guys, they clicked up and they made that a detention center, and they treated them like they were in prison. And they couldn't leave there. They could only they had to have their meals there. They called it a day room. We're going to in the day room. You want to act like, just like Joe Ritchie, and it's in footage. You want to act like a criminal would treat you. And they made that like a day room. They couldn't leave the stage. And there'd be 5 or 6 of them up there from Rhode Island. They called it a clique. Stuff like that. Wow, Adam, look at this coffee table. Looks a little something like mine. Yeah.
Wait, stay right there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get more of your face, because
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. Oh, man, I can remember when they, like, wherever you were on this compound, if you call it, and they'd call a general meeting, they would stand out and they would call it, and people would just have to run to this dining hall.
Yeah, tripod's on the shot again, Albie. I'm just kidding. Yeah, go on. They would call people to the
Yeah, they would yell general meeting, and
Can you move the tripod
And, you know, there'd be 4, 5, 6, sometimes 8 hours in here just going over and humiliating 1, 2, 3 people. It all depended, you know. I just remember running up this hill for general meetings, general meeting, and the fear would run through you. Is this for me? Did I do something? Or did somebody say I did something? Because there was a lot of that happening when resident was pitted against resident. You know? Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to get down to the lake whenever you feel it's ready. Yep, there's the one up there, the cabin up there.
Alright, you can go.
Yeah. The business office right here. I worked here for a while. And I used to hold the daily meeting in the morning before morning meeting. It was a coordinators meeting. Residents running groups. It's crazy. Yeah. And see, they got beds here. This was Jeff Gottlieb's office, the assistant director, Jeff Gottlieb. This was, yeah, we had a PA system. That's right. I'm looking at the speakers on the wall. We had a PA system here.
Kind of old. I'm kind of worried that
It's a Dell.
it'll leak. You know.
Oh.
It might leak some. Yeah. See, I don't.
I'm telling you, I'm a ghost.
Yeah, probably.
I'm a ghost that I'm feeling right now.
Telling me that hard drive probably. What is this one? You got Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yeah.
Jeez.
This was my office right here. I was telling Tim, this is where I.
Hold on, let me get out of here.
Yeah. This is where I ran this house. There was
Unless you already. Nah, I got it.
There was 90 residents under me, and I ran all the crews. I was a senior coordinator. I was in charge of all the full coordinated every department I was in charge of, and I had to make sure it run right. But that was all a part of just trying to get out of their therapy and trying to lean the program into running my way. And there was a lot of manipulation and deceiving going on to get up to where I had to go. When that was the cult-like way that this place operated. Whew, man. Yep. Last Child of Camelot. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let me see that. See this? Look at this. Yeah, this is what I would do right here as senior coordinator. This would be, general meeting, Peter. That was Peter Gottlieb. No, not Peter Gottlieb. That was Peter McCann. General comments. This is actual comments of a general meeting. House attitude, dorm attitude, attitude of functioning. These were the notes we kept.
Can you take this? Can we just take this?
Yeah, why not? I'm taking it.
I want all of it.
We're taking it then.
I want all of it.
We're taking it.
In
No,
fact,
we're
any
taking it.
documents, I want.
Huh? All right. Thank you. It's open? All right, yeah, he got it open. See, I don't remember this, okay? But I remember what I seen on. Yeah, I got it. The tuition fees. Just what I seen last night from a year ago on video. Right here. Right here. Right there. Go on, I'll let you get in there. Mac Mini. So that's the money I'm talking about. Like, and it was a money scheme. It was a fucking money scheme from the get, and fucking kids suffered bad. Mental turmoil people went through. Like, I just happened to even. I don't know how good I came through because I ended up in prison for 11 years. But I had my mind today, and I always knew I was going to do this. See how they called it Elan school? This is different. Private. Was their pitch right here. Appropriate Elan candidates have average and above average cognitive abilities, have no history of violent crimes. No, that's not how they. Look. We've taken this. Offers rolling admission. Annual tuition is $49,071. Billed monthly. Billed monthly. Average length of attendance is between 24 and 30 months. Look at the money. So it was $12,000 a month then. It was $12,000 a month when I was here. Is that crazy? The state of Rhode Island paid that kind of money even after 75 when Massachusetts brought their kids out. Approximately 75% of our graduates attend post-secondary schools. Yeah, maybe some did, but I know a lot of them guys from Rhode Island, and I mean, I ended up for prison, and with a lot of them guys I was in prison with too that were here. Some they ended in real violent death. You want fact sheet. Except, see, 24 to 30 months. This has got to be later because no, the average stay for any Rhode Island back then was, for me and my brother was an exception because of my mother. Sharon Terry, Martin Krulig. I remember her too, but I remember Martin. He was an assistant director. Cynthia O'Connor, Amanda Richardson. These all names I don't know. Accounts payable, student bank. We gotta take this too. We gotta take that too. And here's an application. So see, this was the office. They probably did a telemarketing scheme to get kids in here with all the private kids that came in from across the country. That's what they fucking did here. Fucking pathological fucking liars and sadistic fucking people, man. Just not nice people. What is this? To all employees, let me get it, I can read it in the light. Should there be any overtime? No, form working overtime. No, that ain't nothing. What is this? Oh boy.
Well, I'm gonna go with Paulie.
All right. I'll visit that in a minute. I want to see which one. I think that was the real original schoolhouse. Because there was, no, it wasn't, because there was 4 classrooms in there, and that's not 4 classrooms, I don't think. We'll check that out. We'll check that out. But let's get down to the lake. Oh boy. Fuck, it feels like the fucking, the chill feels like the ghost fucking going right through you. Yeah, that's new. They must have added, like, that was a house probably. That was a separate house probably. It wasn't there when I was there. Yeah, that's new. My phone in the car? All right. Yeah, that's definitely new. Yeah, this is cabin I stayed in when I first got here, right here. Wow. Oh. Yeah, this wasn't here when I was here. Now this is, yeah, it's all locked up, I think. We'll see. Oh, it's open. Yeah. Yeah, this is the cabin I stayed in. Right here. Yep. Yeah. This is where I stood when I first got here. This looks like the same bunks. Like, you know. Look, a warehouse. That's 2, 4, 2, 4, 6 in there. 2, 4 here. Two, 4, 6. Wow. Yep. Look at this. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, this is where I stayed when I first got here. It's like, it's the same stuff. It's the same thing. For 50 fucking years. Except like that chair there. It's cool. Yeah, imagine that. Wow. It's like frozen in fucking time. That's what this place is. Yep, this is where the first cabin I stood in when I came here, right here. This is it. Look at the 12,000 a month, like back in the 70s, and there was the same amount of beds, like, so that's 12, there's 24, there's 48, there's 50 grand a month for that room. So you look at the money look, and they didn't know this was a scheme. It was a Ponzi scheme in the 60s, and children were the fucking victims. That's what it was. Back then, and then you see what the prices were then, $50,000, $55,000 a month. Count that up a bed at the end, Adam. You know what I mean? So 50. There's 200 grand right here in this room. Another 200. Fuck, almost $2 million for this a month, right here. $2 million. Imagine that. In the end of his reign on fucking children. Oh, unbelievable. On my fucking back, he did this. Oh, boy. Yeah. All right, yeah. Let's go. Let's go down to the lake. Wow. I don't remember that, or do I? I don't know. But this is the way to the lake right here. It can't be much different down there neither. You know that? Right there. Yeah. See, that was the girls' cabin right there. All the girls lived in that cabin, slept in that cabin. Otherwise, 16 hours a day was up in the house. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, this is the way down there. But you know, there's a spring back at this cabin right here. And it's just, I think that springs into the lake. And that was the way I went the first time I escaped, that way, toward the sun. And I knew I would catch the lake. Matter of fact, the lake down this way used to have a lot of properties, different properties from different people that lived over that way. Yeah. Remember I told you it was going to be steep? I told you it was going to be steep. See, there's that little stream. See the stream? Yeah, all right. This was actually pretty nice. Like, this was an escape, just walking, you know. Because, like, in the summertime, it was like you had pretty much, because it was so hot, we would have free lake time all the time. And then they would tighten up the house in the at the end of the summer. But this was a pretty nice, this stream. This is the nicest thing about this place. And the lake. Am I going too fast?
What's up?
I'm not going too fast.
Well, I can't. If you, I mean, I don't want to ask you to slow down.
Oh, right.
It's just that with my leg and plus the.
Oh, all right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's gonna be a trip.
Back
Okay.
up will be easier and safer for me.
Fuck. All right. All right. I'm good. I'm good. All right. Yeah, be careful. It's going to get a little steeper over here.
It's gonna get steeper.
A little steeper right in here. See it? No, that's not. No, this is. It's planing out. Yeah, but it's this way right here. See? I'm not sure if that was there. Not sure if that was there. But that might not be, it's not part of this property. Only this is down here. I'm almost pretty sure. But that's the way I went. I ended up down this trail down here. And that's how was my first successful escape out of here. At 15. Be careful. They still got sailboats. The dock is still here. Wow. Wow. That's beautiful. I'm sorry. This is beautiful. Look at this. The sun is setting just where he said it was. This is just how I thought it would be today. You get down here, you'll get a picture of this mountain, little mountain hill over here. It's beautiful. I sailed on this lake with a guy. He was a private resident, and there was one of them little sunfishes down there that had a hole in it. So I worked in the carpenter shop, and we repaired it. And then he taught me how to sail a sunfish. And that's actually, I got to know where I was. We sailed all the way down that way, and then we sailed all the way down that way, which is where the two lakes, like this is one side of the lake, and then the other side of the Twin Lakes is over that way. You know, that was a nice. He was a pretty good guy. He didn't become a staff, but he was the department head in the carpentry department at the time, and I guess they thought it would keep me out of trouble too. I swam in this lake. There was a longer dock. It had like, you could dive off it at the end. These weren't the docks that were here. But yeah. I mean, picturesque, look at it. And there's times when that's all snow capped. Yeah. Yeah, there was some beautiful sunsets off this lake. My mother brought a deck up. Me and my mother had a moment right over here at the lake. And she thought this place was so good for me. You know, she was in the delusion of what this place was really like. And she thought it was helping me, and it wasn't. But it was a nice moment, me and my mother. And it was a moment of reuniting, I guess, because of me leaving with my father. I don't know. But it was a moment. Boy. Oh. How's the light?
How's the light?
Yeah.
On you?
Yeah.
As good as I can tell.
Yeah.
It's the sun's going behind the clouds a little bit now, so.
I had pretty good shot on him. I had pretty good shot on pretty much.
This was the chief expediter's office. They have the expediter's office, then this was the
Use
chief.
my phone for some of this because I'm having a lot of trouble.
Yeah. Have you been in the dining room?
No, I don't think we went there yet.
No, me and Adam got a little bit of footage of me in there. So if you might not want to waste it, because it was pretty good. I don't want to go down there, but this was the laundry crew down here. This is where all the laundry was done. And there was a nice woman who ran that. It was that was Henry, the cook, that used to shield me and my brother Dick from the horrors of this place. He'd call us in the kitchen. I need the 2 Kelly brothers in here. They do good work. And we would go in the kitchen, and he wasn't a resident, the cook. He was a hired staff, and had nothing to do with the ways of Joe Ritchie and the cult-like stuff that happened. But the woman and her husband, they were a black couple, very, very nice people they were. Yeah. Yeah, so here's where all the general meetings took place, right here. You didn't think we'd get this kind of access, did you, Albie? No, yeah. That piano was there. Yeah, there'd be hundreds of people, 100 people in here, because there were 100 residents back then when I was here, you know. And like I thought. Look at this. An old sea chest. I don't remember that. I remember the piano. That piano's been here for over 50 years that I know. Probably longer than that, this piano right here. It's the same one. And it still works. Yeah, this like I used to play around with it when I was here, and I used to go like this. So I used to do a little something like that, and I'm not musicianly inclined. Like I don't play instruments, but take your mind off of what was going on here. TVs? No, they had one TV. They never had something like that here. They had a small TV in the living room over there. This was a stage right here. And I remember one time there was a bunch of guys that clicked up, and there were a lot of the Rhode Island guys, they clicked up and they made that a detention center, and they treated them like they were in prison. And they couldn't leave there. They could only they had to have their meals there. They called it a day room. We're going to have in the day room. You want to act like, just like Joe Ritchie, and it's in footage. You want to act like a criminal would treat you. And they made that like a day room. They couldn't leave the stage. And there'd be 5 or 6 of them up there from Rhode Island. They called it a clique. Stuff like that. Wow, Adam, look at this coffee table. Looks a little something like mine. Yeah.
Wait, stay right there.
Yeah.
Trying to get more of your face, because
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, yeah, I can remember when they, like, wherever you were on this compound, if you call it, and they'd call a general meeting, they would stand out and they would call it, and people would just have